How's it going, DLSU SHS? I am Chelzea Juniosa.
And I am Dania Agustin, and you're watching Archer Asks,
where we take aim right on target.
We're so glad to have all of you with us as we unfold the latest topics behind the screens.
And we are so excited to introduce our special guests who have taken the time to be with us here today.
Exactly, Chelzea. With the recently held Term 1 Student Council elections, we are honored to have with us the newly elected President and Vice President of the DLSU SHS Student Council. Please welcome to your virtual screens, Micaela Rabaca and Andrea Day.
Welcome, Micaela and Andrea. Before we begin, we would like to ask, how are you doing today?
I'm okay naman. It's term break and I'm kind of getting more rest than I'm used to. So it's been an okay day for me. Chai?
Personally, I could be doing better, but I'm so happy to be here and to participate in this interview.
We are so glad to hear that. Now, heading right on target, first, can you give us an insight as to why you decided to run for your respective positions? Let's start with Micaela.
So I think I've stated this before during MDA, but I didn't initially want to run for president because I didn't think it was something it wasn't really something I completely aspired for, because I know how much responsibility is on the hands of the president, and how much responsibility they have in terms of leading and guiding the student body. But over a couple months and a lot of people talking to me and giving me a bit of guidance and insight, I realized that there's a lot in the student body. There's a lot of people in the student body that deserve a good leader, and I think I gave and I'm giving that the good leader that they're deserving of. And so I also thought that there's a lot of things that I could change, maybe a few things I could develop over time in the student body and like the system surrounding the student body. So that's why I decided to run for president.
Thank you, Mika. Next, can we please have Chai?
Well, I definitely have similar experiences to Ate Mika, but another reason why I decided to run for vice president, even if it's my first time in this new environment and I'm merely a grade 11 student, is because I believe that I have the ability to empower others. And that's something that I find really important, especially since I'm dedicated to service and serving others. I thought that putting myself in this position would mean that it would benefit the student body in feeling that they are a part of everything that is going on. I'm not sure how to explain it properly, but I want everyone to feel included, especially since a lot of us in grade 11 are new students. And I believe that there are special things that I can bring for this team, which I'm actually currently working on this sem break. So yeah, that's why I decided to run for vice.
Indeed, your answers are very inspiring. Now for the next question, what were the biggest challenges that you faced throughout preparing for your position in the council? This time, let's start with Andrea.
All right, so the biggest challenges that I faced throughout preparing for my position in the council was that everything was extremely new to me. I actually have not been a part of the student council since I was in elementary school, but I was willing to try this senior high school because I believed that I was capable. So the biggest challenges that I faced was just how serious they really were in their candidacy. I actually hadn't met a lot of my batchmates and pretty much anybody else in senior high until maybe a week before the first week of school. I know that there was a Telegram or there was a group chat that everyone was a part of. I did not know that existed. So one of the biggest challenges that I faced was that nobody really knew me outside of my block or maybe even my strand. And that and the requirements were very much new to me. I had to contact like old teachers for my recommendation forms and such. It was a new experience, and I think that was one of the biggest challenges, that I did not expect it to be this intense.
Thank you for that, Andrea. Up next, let's have Mika.
For me, a lot of people seem to think like the most preparation you do for running in the student council or for anything really is like the material preparation. But in my opinion, the hardest one for me, well, the biggest challenge was like the mental and emotional preparation of it, because going into running, you also have to expect, even if you know you have like your fellow candidates, you have to expect that you might win. So you have to prepare mentally and emotionally, like, can you carry on? Can you promise yourself that you're not gonna burn out and you're gonna still be able to serve the student body to your best capability? So I had to prepare myself in that aspect more so than I had to prepare like material wise, because I mean I did this last school year as well, so I kind of got a better hang of it. But the emotional and mental preparation is a lot to take, considering the weight and the gravity of the things that we're doing here in the student council. So yeah.
I'm glad you were able to overcome them. Next, what are the biggest advocacies you want to implement throughout your term as a president and vice president? Starting with the president, Mika?
For me, I really want to try and focus on helping students with their mental health, and as well as ligtas na balik eskwela, because those are the two things that are very important to us students now, especially with the senior batch of DLSU SHS. We've been online for 2 years now, and it's kind of sad because we want to be able to step onto the campus, and that's one of the things that I want to prioritize in my term and right now. And I'm not gonna let you guys know yet, but the council, we're planning, we're talking, we're discussing, and we want to make it happen. We want to talk to the admin about ligtas na balik eskwela, and we want to talk about how we can help the students more, considering the circumstances of the pandemic, and how we can improve their quality of education through the screen, or not through the screen if it's ever going to be possible. So yeah.
Thank you, Mika. Next, let's have Andrea.
Yeah, so Ate Mix and I have quite similar advocacies, but stuff that I want to add on is mostly what I promised the student body I would try my best to implement during my period of candidacy. So of course, student diversity, student empowerment, and of course the youth, or more of prioritizing the youth. So that's mostly because I really took into consideration the problems that I saw not only in LaSalle, but the problems that I was seeing in general in the educational system and just, the entire online setting, since, as Atimik said, it was incredibly impactful on, a life of a student. And there were a lot of factors that really contributed to me thinking of these advocacies. So the diversity, kind of came from how everyone can be literally anywhere in the world right now, doing online class, being in the same Zoom classroom. I, for one, am in Visayas currently, and so I find it really cool that we get to see a bunch of different, not only cultures, but lots of more diverse people in our screens. And I think that we should give recognition to that, because that's a step that we can take in becoming more open-minded. So for the empowerment, like I said, the youth is the future and stuff. So I found that empowering the students would be definitely a great step that we could take, especially with the coming elections. That's why a lot of our projects will be based on helping the students become really well-shaped or well-built citizens of this country, and in general. And of course the youth, because like Atimik said, mental health. Project Fight is actually going on right now, so that's kind of aligned with the advocacy of mental health and providing for the youth. But yeah, these were what we wanted to implement, not only as candidates ourselves or already position holders, but also yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, and I'm sure that our archers are looking forward to those already. Now, for your next question, with the current setup still being online, what strategies would you use in fulfilling your duties and ensuring a fruitful school year? Let's start with Mika.
So for me, I guess one of the best strategies I would use is, is time management. Before I had a horrible time management, if I'm being completely honest. But because of the online setup, I'm kind of forced now to have proper time management, because even if we have a schedule in school or for orgs, it's not a completely, stick to that schedule kind of system. So that's one of my best strategies, because in time managing, I get a lot of things done as not just the president, but as a student as well. And another strategy is it's kind of easier to look for people to talk to about what's happening in the student body, because in for example, a face-to-face setup, I'm from ADT, so if I wanted to talk to someone in STEM, I'd have to walk all the way to the STEM building. But here it's kind of easier to do that, because you can just look for their Facebook, or maybe find their LaSallian email and talk to them and be like, hey, I want to ask you about how's life in STEM, or how's life as a student, and it's helpful, because the student council, really our work isn't just to have fun, and it's more to make the students have fun and for them to have a good environment surrounding them that's meant for their growth and development. So that's those are my two main strategies in helping myself and as well as the student body, and getting to know what they really want from us. So yeah.
Now let's have Andrea.
All right, so for me, with the current setup being online, the two strategies that I use the most is, just like Atimika said, time management is so important nowadays, especially when it's meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, non-stop meetings. And then for me personally, teamwork. I don't mean teamwork as in cheating, of course, we do not condone that here, but sometimes when you work together, say, oh, we're all confused, let's all review together in a Discord call or things like that. It's something that really helps students not only open up, especially with this whole online setup where you can't exactly just tap someone on the shoulder like, hey, let's be friends. You have to go through the talking stage online and all of that. Fulfilling your duties and ensuring a fruitful school year. So when we look at it that way, it's best that you're getting as much help as you possibly can, because no one is going to be alone in whatever progress or processes they're going through. And so that's why I see that time management and teamwork are very important, because when you work together and all of that kind of stuff, you're not only taking care of yourself, but you're helping others. And it will definitely help you get a move on much better than if you were doing it alone. Unless, of course, that's what you like doing, that you prefer to work alone. I just personally see it as when I'm talking to, for example, friends about how to do a certain work, and we're all talking about it, we start brainstorming, it definitely helps us move along faster with what we're trying to do. And I would recommend that to other students if ever they were having a hard time on their own, because you don't have to be alone in anything that you do. You can always ask for help when it is needed.
Very well said. Finally, what are your advice for the future student council of DLSU SHS? Once again, let's start with Mika.
Hi. So for me, my advice for the future student council of DLSU SHS, I guess would definitely be savor your sleep. That's super I mean, it's true, savor your sleep and savor your rest, because you need to energize yourself and in preparation for the student council, because the work we do here is, it's a lot, and it's not that it's bad, it's just, it's a lot, and it comes with a title, it comes with a lot of responsibility. Another would definitely be know your know what's happening, not just in the student council, but also not just student body, but also like with the world, because we're students, and we're part of the masses, so we have a lot to fight for. We're the youth, we're learning, so being part of the student council, you're representing the student body, and you're representing like more than 1,000 voices, so you really need to know what's going on with your students and what's going on around society or the Philippines, because these things that are happening could affect you as a student and could affect your constituents in connection. So definitely savor your sleep and know what's happening. Always be aware, always be vigilant, and always know how to do action with the things that you're finding out. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Mika. And last but not least, can we please have Andrea?
My advice for the future student council of DLSU SHS: oh, please keep fighting. I am sure that you are going through what feels like hell right now, but I promise when you see how big of an impact you're going to make, not a single part of the pain won't feel worth it. So if ever you plan on running and you're already having a hard time, don't worry, because it depends on your intentions. As long as you're doing it for the greater good of the LaSallian community, I promise you that you are doing good. So don't worry, you're going to be all right. That, and please learn to manage your time. Learn to manage your time. You're going to be in back-to-back meetings even during sem break. So just learn not only to take care of yourself, but also manage all of the activities that you're planning, and work hard always for the students. They are your number one priority. And like Ate Mika said, educate yourself on not only the issues going on in school, but also outside, because they will affect you as a student and as a citizen. So yeah, that's my advice, and good luck, of course.
Those are very good and relatable answers, so take note, LaSallians. Now, before we end today's session, we would like to get to know you more, and I'm sure our archers feel the same way.
Indeed, Denya. And what better way than through the ever so famous
Fast Talk.
The rules are simple. All you have to do is answer the first thing that comes to your mind as fast as you can.
So with the Fast Talk, let's start with Andrea. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
For your first question, good or ripe?
Good.
That's a great answer. Perfect and late, or good and on time?
Good and on time.
That's an interesting one. Clever, intelligent, or wise?
Wise.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be wise, right? Describe your leadership style in 3 words.
Collaborative, down to earth, and no empty promises.
Good choice of words. Now, the biggest lesson that you learned.
Always take care of yourself and think of other people with it.
And I'm sure that you'd be able to apply those now that you are our Student Council Vice President. Now, for your last question, the best thing about being a DLSU SHS student?
The community is wonderful.
Yes, I think we can all agree that that's indeed one of the best things about being a LaSallian.
Thank you, Andrea. Now let's proceed to Mika. Are you ready?
Yep, let's go.
What is the main purpose of a student council?
To represent and to be open to talking.
Indeed, great answer. In 5 words, describe yourself as a president.
Um, I'm someone who walks my talk and I don't just say things to satisfy other people.
Wow, I'm sure we are all looking forward to that. Next, what is the essence of an effective leader?
Someone who's just and knows what to do and knows how to fight for the things they stand for.
Remarkable answer. What do you want to improve in the student council?
I guess transparency and open communication. We've been transparent for the past years, but things can always be improved even if they're good.
We can't wait for that to happen. How did becoming the student council president change your life?
I can't play Valorant as much anymore. But I got to meet more people and I've opened my eyes to more students. It's very interesting to talk to a lot of people. Yeah.
That is truly inspiring. Describe what's in store for the DLSU SHS community now that you are their student body president in 3 words.
Make a change. Change is gonna come, I'm sure.
I'm sure we are all excited for that and what you have in store for the student body. Once again, thank you, Mika.
And I'm afraid that's all the time we have for now. As we wrap up, we are giving you the screen for any final messages for the student body. Let's start with our president, Mika.
To the student body, I hope you guys are doing all right and you guys have gotten your well-deserved rest over the term break. And expect that we have plans for you guys and we're listening and we're here for you and everything we're doing is for you. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing great and good luck in the coming terms.
Thank you for that message. And now let's have Andrea.
Okay, so for the student body, I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves over sem break. And I hope you guys have been, continuously fighting and just doing well in general. Don't worry about literally anything until, your subjects come along. I know that everyone is worried and stressed already. Only 1 more week left. Like Ate said, we have a lot of big things in store for you. So don't forget that we are always here if there's anything that you'd like to suggest. And we are always listening, just like, what Ate said. I think I don't have much to say anymore. Just continue doing your best because I'm sure that, I speak for the entire student council when we say that we are proud of you, LaSallians.
Once again, thank you, Michaela and Andrea, for taking aim right on target with us.
And thank you for tuning in to our program.
For more information on the hottest news within and outside the DLSU SHS community, don't forget to like our social media pages, The Animo, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Once again, I am Dani Agustin.
And I am Chelzea Juniosa.
This is Archer Asks,
where we take aim right on target.
Thank you and have a good day.